Hello, good morning, students. How are you doing today? You are welcome to this amazing class. I believe you are all ready for the class. Kindly get your writing materials. Your biro, your notebook, your pencil, your ruler, and get seated. As you all know, my name is Vera Okenye, a Greek science teacher at Greenland College. We'll be looking into an interesting topic together this morning titled Farm Animal Diseases. Farm Animal Diseases. And I encourage us to cooperate very well, avoid distraction as we continue with the class. Remember, the topic is farm animal diseases. Farm animal diseases. Before we go into the topic proper, let's look into the objective of the lesson, which is very important in every topic. As you know, objective is a statement that describes what you, as a student, should be able to know at the end of every class. What you are expected to learn, what you are expected to put into your upshelf at the end of every topic. As regard, the objective of this topic is stated here. Number 1, you are expected to be able to define disease, explain 2 categories of diseases, outline some pathogen that causes diseases to farm animals, state the symptoms of farm animal diseases, mention the mode of transmission of animal diseases. Very important. Please, let's take note of this objective, and if time permits us, we are going to look into a particular disease of farm animal today. Now to the topic proper. Meaning of farm animal disease. Meaning of farm animal disease. Before we continue, I want to ask us a question. Have you ever been sick or had a challenge in any part of your body that prevents the proper function of such part? If your response is yes, likewise animals can be affected. Hence, we define disease as a change in the normal function or well-being of farm animals caused by another organism. A change in the normal function or well-being of farm animals caused by another organism. Also, it is a change in the state of the body, a change in the state of the body or some of the organs, preventing or disturbing the performance of important function. When a part of the body is being affected, the proper functioning of such body is prevented, is disturbed. The normal functioning of such part is being disturbed. Such part cannot function effectively because it has been attacked by a particular disease. Likewise, human, if we are affected by or challenged in any part of our body, it is covered that such part cannot function properly. It could be the hand, the leg, or any part of our body. If animals are challenged, such parts they are being affected cannot function properly. That is what we say as disease. And it is mainly caused by organisms, which we'll be looking into later. I believe we are following. I want to ask us if we can still remember what farm animals are. What are farm animals? I will encourage us to quickly think and tell me what farm animals are. They are animals that are mainly used for agricultural purposes. They serve agricultural purposes. Take note of that. So these animals could be goats, you have cattle, pig, and other animals. They are examples of farm animals. Take note of that. These animals can be affected when the normal function or well-being of these animals are disturbed or challenged, meaning they are being attacked by a particular disease. Let's look to the categories of animal diseases. Categories of animal diseases. We have the first one as contagious disease. Secondly, infectious disease. These are the two categories of animal diseases. The first one, contagious disease. A contagious disease is transmitted by direct contact between sick and healthy animals. Direct contact. Direct contact between sick and healthy animals. Take note of this word, direct contact between sick and healthy animals. It could be the body, contact with the body, contact with hand, or any part of the body. When a particular animal that is being affected get in contact with other animals that are healthy directly, such healthy animals will as well be affected. The means of transmission then is regarded as contagious disease because it is contacted through direct means. Infectious disease. Infectious disease is spread from the sick to the healthy without contact. Infectious disease is spread from the sick to the healthy without contact. The animals does not need to have direct contact with the infected animals before such disease affects them. It could be through air, through water, or dust. Take note of means of contacting infectious disease. Through air, through water, through dust, and other means. These are the means by which infectious disease can be transmitted. Take note of these two categories of animal diseases: contagious disease and infectious disease. Contagious disease is transmitted by direct contact between sick and healthy animals, while infectious disease is spread from the sick to healthy animals without contact. That is through air, through water, through dust, and other means. I believe we are all following. Okay, let's look to the mode of transmission of animal diseases. Mode of transmission of animal diseases. Mode of transmission of animal diseases. 1. We have air, which is under infectious disease. Most mode of transmission of animal diseases: air. We have water, direct contact, through dust, and insect vector. These are the major means of transmission of animal diseases. Contaminated water affects animal quickly. When animals are fed with contaminated water, the disease can easily affect them, which is under infectious disease. Direct contact is under contagious disease, dust, infectious disease, and insect vector is as well a means of transmitting farm animal disease. Let's take note of this mode of transmission of animal disease. Different diseases are spread through this means. I believe we'll be looking into these diseases that are spread or transmitted through this means. We have symptoms of animal diseases. Symptoms of animal diseases. Take note of these symptoms. If animals are affected, those of us that are rearing animals, if you have a poultry farm, you know these animals cannot talk. When they are affected, it is covered at different things. They will be giving different signs. If you cannot identify these signs, it can lead to mortality, high rate of mortality. If you are unable to identify the signs, the symptoms of animal diseases, it is very vital in rearing farm animals, the symptoms of animal diseases. The first one you see is loss of weight. The animals keep losing weight day after day. Whenever you hold on to the animals, you try to check, you see them losing weight. Emaciation, they keep emaciating. Emaciation will take place. Even we human, weight loss is a very vital symptom of identifying a sick person. When someone is losing weight, you can easily ask the person, are you having a challenge in any part of your body? Are you sick? Animals as well lose weight when they are challenged in any part of their body. When they have been attacked by a particular disease. There are different diseases that can attack animal. There is one called mastitis, which we'll be coming into later. Then secondly is rise in temperature. Rise in temperature. Take note of that. Salivation. Salivation is a vital symptom of animal disease. You see the animals dropping saliva from their mouth all the time. Irritating saliva. They are unable to swallow, taking this saliva back to their system. They keep dropping saliva. If you have a poultry farm, it is mainly noticeable among poultry birds. It is mainly noticeable among poultry birds. Like fowl, those of us rearing fowl at home in our houses. We discovered that these animals will be dropping saliva. When your farm animal or any animal you are rearing is dropping saliva, observe such animal, then you should be informed that such animal has been affected by a particular disease. We have frequent pain, sores and exudate from the skin of the animals. Sores and exudate from the skin of the animals. Sores and exudate from the skin of the animals. The animal's skin will be so irritating that even you, the owner, cannot look at it. It is always filled with sores. Any animals can be affected that way. When such animal has been attacked by a particular disease, the animal's skin will be irritating. The hairs in the animal's skin will pull off. You hardly find a single hair on their skin. This hair would have been eaten up by such disease. The next one is loss of appetite. This is common to every animal, even man. I mean human being as well. When you are sick, you find it difficult to eat. Wherever you are given, even when you are given the best meal, your best choice of meal, you find it difficult to take into your system. It is a very good symptom. When those animals are given food, they refuse to eat such food. When you give them water, they will always reject anything given to them. Then you as the farmer should know that your animal has been affected by a particular disease which you need to identify. Then you have respiratory problem. Respiratory problems. The animals find it difficult to breathe. Their breathing rate can increase or reduce. Becomes abnormal. Either it will increase or it will reduce. They find it very difficult to breathe. It is as well common to man. Take for example, in this present time, we know the pandemic that has struck the nation. We are told that one of the symptoms is what? Difficulty in breathing. Anyone that has been affected by this virus called COVID-19, coronavirus, will have difficulty in breathing. Likewise, animal. There are diseases that will attack them, they will have difficulty in breathing. Another one is high mortality. High mortality. Mortality means death rate. Death rate. Death rate. Increase. There will be increase in death rate. Death rate. Death rate. There will be increase in death rate. There will be increase in death rate. When an animal is affected, there will be increase in death rate. Then we have blood stain phases. Blood stain phases. Their droppings. Animals' droppings will be stained with blood. Animals' dropping will be stained with blood. That is a very good sign as well to identify a sick animal or animal that have been attacked by disease. I believe we are following. Take note of where we started from. The definition of disease as a change in the normal function or well-being of farm animal caused by another organism. We went into the categories of animal diseases, contagious disease and infectious disease, mode of transmission of animal diseases, air, water, direct contact, dust, insect vector. Then we are presently in symptoms of animal diseases, which include loss of weight, rise in temperature, salivation, frequent pain, source and evident from the skin, loss of appetite, respiratory problems, high mortality, blood stain phases. Take note of this. Let's look to the pathogens that causes diseases to farm animals. Pathogen that causes diseases to farm animals. The first one here is bacteria. Bacteria. We have fungi, virus, we have worm and protozoa. These are the major pathogens that causes diseases to farm animals. When we define disease, we said it is caused by another organism. A change in the well-being or function of animals caused by another organism. The organism that causes these diseases are called pathogens, and we have them as the examples include bacteria, fungi, virus, worm, and protozoa. Take note of this. Common bacterial diseases of farm animals. Remember, I told us that when time permits us, we are going to look into one disease of farm animals. We are going to start up with the common bacterial diseases of farm animals. But before we continue, I want us to quickly pick up our pen, pick up your notebook, and write out 2 ways you think farm animal diseases can be prevented? Prevention of farm animal diseases. Since these animals cannot talk, and when you identify them, for it not to spread easily, what are the ways you think it can be prevented? Please quickly pick up your pen and your notebook and write it down. Okay, let's continue. Common bacterial diseases of farm animals. I believe you are true. I believe you are true with that write-up. Common bacterial diseases of farm animals. The first one we have here is mastitis. Mastitis is one of the commonest diseases of farm animals. Mastitis. Mastitis is a bacterial disease that affects the udder or breast of farm animals. Udder is as well known as breast. In man, you call it breast. I mean human, you call it breast. While in animal, it is called udder. Take note of that. This disease affects animals such as cattle, sheep, goat, and pig. We have cattle here, we have sheep, and we have pig. These are the animals. Look at this picture very well. These are the animals mastitis affects. We have cattle, we have sheep, we have pig, and as well goats. These are the major 4 animals that mastitis affects. It is caused by bacteria called Streptococcus. Take note of this word. The name of the bacteria that causes this disease is called Streptococcus. Let's take note of that. Mode of transmission. How is this disease being transmitted? This disease is transmitted into the breast or the udder. Remember the word, instead of using the word breast, you make use of the word udder. The udder of the animals by bacteria from dirty floor. Bacteria from dirty floor. Through the teeth of the animals. Bacteria from dirty floor. Through the teeth and udder of the animals. Symptoms. What are the symptoms? How would you know that such animal has been affected? 1. Swollen udder. Swollen udder. You see the udder of the animal swollen. You have rise in temperature. Drop in milk yield. There will be drop in milk yield. Production of watery, yellowish and smelling milk. Production of watery, yellowish and smelling milk. The udder will be swollen, which is the first one. The breast of the animal will be swollen. Such animal has been affected by mastitis. Take note of point 3, drop in milk yield. Animal that is producing a very high quantity of milk, the milk yield will be dropped, will reduce. The milk yield will be reduced. Such animal has been affected by mastitis. Production of watery and yellowish smelling milk. The milk produced by these animals will be yellowish, to be watery, and it will be smelling. Then such animal has been affected by this particular disease called mastitis. Treatment. You treat by the injection of antibiotics. Injection of what? Antibiotics. A veterinary officer will give this treatment. When it has been identified that such animal is affected by mastitis, you take the animal to a veterinary officer or invite a veterinary officer to your farm. Then a veterinary officer will treat these animals by injection of antibiotics. Prevention and control. You don't want these animals to be affected. How would you prevent or control it? You proper wash on udder before and after milking. Proper washed udder before and after milking. Udder should be properly washed. The breast of the animal should be properly washed before and after milking. The milking by hand should be done in a clean environment. Those of you that are having cattle, you want to bring out the milk from the udder of these animals, it should be done in a clean environment, because dirty floor, dirty environment can lead to the transmission of the disease. Then overcrowding of the animal should be prevented. Overcrowding of the animal should be prevented. That is exactly what is taking place in the country today. Social distancing. People should not be staying crowded in a place. Then isolation of infected animals. Isolation is infected animal. This is pertaining to all the diseases of farm animals. You isolate any infected animals. That will help to control or prevent the spread of such disease. I believe we are all following. Take note of the prevention and control of farm animal disease. Let's look to assignment. Having come to the end of this class, prevention and control of mastitis disease, let's look to the assignment questions. I expect us to work on this properly, and you are expected to send your response to the email below. The question goes thus: 1. Discuss contagious bovine abortion as a bacterial disease of farm animals under the following. Meaning, contagious bovine abortion is a bacterial disease as well. Contagious bovine abortion is a bacterial disease as well. Take note of that. Discuss it under the following: causal organism, mode of transmission, symptoms, prevention, and control. Note, your response should be on word processing. Type your response on Microsoft Word and send your response to the email below. And the email is vera.okene@greenlandhall.org. Thank you for listening. I remain Vera Okene.